Hey there, guys. Merry Christmas. Just wanted to do a video on a couple of things that I got for stocking stuffers for this Christmas. My wife was extremely good to me. So a couple quirky things here, a couple different things, and one of the odd things I'm really excited about I'll keep for the end. In no particular order, uh, got a new small Suntu compass. This is designed to go on. I thought I'd go on my wristband, but it doesn't quite fit my watch. But maybe I'll put it on my hat, or you can put them just about anywhere. They're pretty small, uh, just for general directionality, to give a kind of overall sense of northeast southwest. They do glow in the dark, so you can see it at night. But it's just like I said, a general sense of direction. I got 50 feet of paracord. This stuff is indispensable when you're on the trail. We use this thing for just about everything. Ridge lines, pegging out the tents, crafts, repairs. We build kit with it. It's good for just about anything. Between 550 cord and some bank line, we can make, weave, build just about anything. Go through a lot of this stuff. So this is really nice to get another roll. I just finished off my last roll a couple days ago, so the timing's perfect. Along with the paracord, duct tape is the other one that we tend to go through a lot of. Again, this stuff is used for repairs. I've made wallets with this. I've made bags with this. Repairs in the field. It's just absolutely the number of uses for this stuff is just astronomical. You can even take a small piece of this stuff off, and you can tear this stuff into thin little individual fibers. If you tear it up small enough, then we'll actually take a spark from a ferro rod. It is highly flammable, burns a really long time, and so it's a great fire starter in a pinch. If you can get it, like, so get it down small enough where you can kill out these individual little fibers, it is it's an amazing little fire starter. Definitely something you need to have on the trail. I carry the 2-inch roll in my tool bag. I carry it in the car, and then I have a 1-inch roll where I usually carry in the field um, for hiking. At a base camp situation, definitely a 2-inch roll and a 1-inch roll. This is something I've seen around on YouTube. It's a tripod with a pot hanger, and I'm not 100% sure on this. So let's make the disclaimer that none of this is really a review on any of it. These are all brand new things I just got this Christmas, so I haven't used any of this. This is not an in-depth review. This is not even really an unboxing. This is just to look at some of the things that I've got. So I haven't tried this. I'm kind of on two minds about it, but the way that it works is your tripod legs would come up through here, and then your pot would go below it. My issue is that your legs have to be able to fit through here, so it kind of limits you to the size and the height of the tripod that you're going to make. You're just kind of limited by the size of this. But this would come up through here and then feeds in through as, so you decide how long you want this chain to be. So your pot hooks onto here. Decide how long you want this to be, and then this hooks into here, and then your pot hangs from here. The other way that I would see about using this was kind of let this out a little bit longer. So maybe doing something like this, so you really had the maximum length of chain hanging out, and then hooking like this. So then your pot sits here. So now when you want to make adjustments, you have infinite number of adjustments just by setting which chain you're hooked into. So I see the chain as being kind of versatile and useful. I'm just not so sure about this. Typically, what we do right now is we just gather a couple of sticks and do a lashing, a tripod lashing, and that way I can often make my tripod sometimes 6 feet tall, and then spread the legs out to really get them out of my way. And I got a tall tripod, and then I hang my pot from the center, and I have a lot of adjustments. So the chain I might find more use for than this plate. But we'll see. I'll take it out. We'll give it a shot. See what it looks like. This is something else I've kind of seen on YouTube. Uh, this is a marlin spike. This is mostly used for paracord weaving. So this is for burning the ends of paracord, working in the ends of paracord. So if you want to do some weaving, then you can open up your weaves in the paracord and weave it like that. And this is also used for opening up knots, working them out. But inside of here, this is all aluminum and it's hollow. Inside of here, we have a selection of needles. So this one, for example, is just very much a kind of a standard needle. It has a hole into it where you could thread a thin bank line or a paracord inner strand if you just want to do some sewing. It's got a blunt end on it, so you really wouldn't pierce anything, but you could if you were weaving through the knots of a paracord or through another mesh. And then these all have holes in them, and they have different sizes. All these holes are different sizes. So you would use these. So you take your end of your paracord and put a bit of a point in your paracord, melt it, and you would thread your melted paracord into here. And then, so once it's melted onto here, then you would use this like a needle to go through paracord knots or through paracord weaves. If you're making things like baskets or netting, those kinds of things, it becomes really useful to get paracord into tighter spots. Again, not something that I'd want to always have at base camp or on the trail, but it's nice for things at home. You're making nets or meshes or those kinds of things. And it all fits together in this neat little package. The other nice thing with this is it is a marlin spike, so you would use it when tying marlin spikes. So you could put a rope on this, and it gives you something really to pull on if you're tightening up stakes or if you want to pull stakes out of the ground. I use a toggle in those situations, but this is a ready-made toggle, and it all sits in here with a cap. That other piece really doesn't seem to fit in here. It's about the same length. It just doesn't quite fit. But it does come with this nifty little bag. So I've taken a piece of paracord and I've pulled out all the inner strands up to here. Then I pointed it off a little bit and melted it a little bit and shoved it into here. So that gives me this tail here of just paracord, the exterior sheath. Then what I did was I took the rest of my paracord, as much of it as I want, and I shoved it into the empty sheath and then melted this shut. And I find that's really the easiest way to secure a full paracord onto the paracord fid. So once I want to disconnect this, I would cut here, and then I still have all of this empty sheath that if I want to reuse it, or if I have a smaller diameter core that won't fit in here so easily because this is too big, I can put a smaller diameter core in here, melt it back together again, and then I can keep on going using this continuously. Once I cut all this out, then I guess I'd have to reattach this. But making this attachment was a little bit trickier than what I thought it was going to be. This is a new carving Mora. I've been talking about getting one for a long time. This thing is razor sharp. It's used for doing fine carvings, spoons, netting needles, netting gauges, intricate little carvings. Um, just a super sharp, fine point on it for getting the little corners. That thing is just an absolute razor. Um, Moras are extremely high quality, excellent piece of kit, and extremely reasonably priced. For some of the other uh, carving knives you can get for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but this thing is very well priced. All of Mora is highly regarded as high quality and very well priced. I just I have done a fair bit of carving in the past, so I'm looking forward to getting out and using this one. Again, it's not the kind of thing you want to take on a long hiking trail with you, but certainly at a base camp situation or even here for doing a little bit of whittling, I'm really looking forward to this. Some spoons or spatulas, kitchen utensils. I'm looking forward to it. To go along with the new knife, I also got a new double-sided strop. I did have a strop in the past, but it was much smaller this way and shorter this way. Nowhere near the kind of quality that this one is. Um, so this one comes with a set of instructions, comes with some sharpening compound, and also comes some instructions, and also comes with this pyramid. So the idea is that when you're sharpening, now this is the wrong style of blade, but if you're sharpening a standard knife, then you can set this up here and set your angles. So you've got a 17-degree bevel, 14-degree bevel, 25, and then 20. And then the instructions here will tell you then what angle you should be stropping at based on the style of blade that you're working on. So for a general purpose pocket knife, you might want to be somewhere between 20 or 25. And then for maybe a Japanese kitchen knife, you might want to be at 14. If you're just doing a Scandinavian blade, then you would just lay this here, tip it forward until you're flat onto the blade, and then just simply pull. And try to get the whole blade as you're going. This is a bit of a more rougher side, and then you have a softer suede side. And then again, you could put compound on here for an even better finish. But just drag the knife right on its edge, and that thing is just razor sharp right at the box anyway. Got a pack of cosmetic pads. These are what I use for making my Surefire fire starters. There's enough in here to last me years and years and years and years. Uh, Typically, I only really use them in this case in an emergency, but just and I have a video of these. A little bit of petroleum jelly. Sometimes I've made just a little bit of lighter fluid in some, and then dip this into a hot wax. Sometimes I do petroleum jelly and then another layer, and then dip the whole thing into hot wax. And that kind of situation where you get petroleum jelly covered in wax. One of these things will burn upwards of 20 minutes. So if you've got a really stubborn fire and you have everything is damp and everything's wet, this thing will light up. It will light with a ferro rod. It'll light with a burnt out lighter. It'll light with a match or a lighter. Anything will light this thing. And then once it's going, it's really hard to put out. And it gives you, like I said, about 20 minutes of burn time. So you get some really stubborn kindling. This thing, one of these, will certainly get you going. And there's enough in here then to do. There's 100 in here, so that's at least 50 fires. So to me, that's 50 emergencies. So there's more in here than I will need in a long, long time. But we also use them for other things. Sometimes I use them just one of these pads, sometimes a little bit of alcohol, sometimes it cleans some things. So we do have other uses, but mostly these will be used for some Surefire pads, Surefire fire starters. Thank you very much for sticking with us until the end. We hope that you enjoyed our brief review of a few of our favorite stocking stuffers from this Christmas. If you like these kinds of videos, please leave a comment below, or even if you don't like these videos, leave a comment below. If there's anything else you'd like to see us do, leave that in the comments as well. As always, please subscribe, like, and share, and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss an update. Please enjoy the rest of your holiday season, have a safe and happy new year, and we'll see you in 2025 with new videos. Thanks, guys.